All right, I will call the May, was it 23rd, 2022 meeting of the Artificial Stormwater Utility Board to order. Join me in the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Roll call from my right, John Bear, Kent Gross. All right, I don't think we have two election officers. Let's scratch out now.
One day I'll remember to take that off there. Today's not the day.
Yeah, today's not the day. All right, minutes from our previous meeting there on April 25th. We had a few meetings, pretty much.
Any issue on that?
Mm-hmm.
I move to approve the minutes from the April 25th, 2022 meeting as presented.
Got a motion, I will second that. So I got a motion and a second there to approve our April 25th meeting minutes there. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 2-0. All righty. Moving on to old business. Any old business there, Joe? Nothing?
No old business.
No old business today? Any new business?
Yes, new business. First item is stormwater complaint 494-2022 at 5910 Shallow Water Lane. We went out there to investigate this complaint and found some construction in our easement. The deck you see there was built pre-annexation. So that's kind of a cat's out of the bag situation.
Okay, yeah.
They have placed kind of those lighting foundations pretty much on top of a 15-inch concrete pipe that's in the easement. I did have the wastewater utility go out and video that line. And to my amazement, the line is not damaged.
Okay.
So they've submitted the beginnings of a encroachment request, knowing that they're more than likely going to want to get moving on this project before our next stormwater meeting. I went ahead and brought this up to the board. What we would be asking would be approval of that recorded encroachment agreement for the lighting of the deck, contingent upon them bring in the additional information that's needed for that. As far as the no conflict letters, as well as signing and recording the agreement.
And that's not a swale. There's no swale.
There's a little bit of a swell, there's not much. There's not much grade in that area. You can kind of see on the aerial there behind you, the arrow is the line question. There are several encroachments along that line.
So the picture here, assuming it's a deck that's been added on behind the pool.
Yeah, that deck that was existing, they did redo some of it.
So my question is, when they redid it, did they expand it and extend it?
They did not expand, from what I can tell. Go back in time a little bit here. See, that was 2014. Which is about the same placement it is today. So that's today, or March 5th. That was 2014. were, it would be legal non-conforming situation as it was in prior to
Yeah.
Cartersville annexing
Yeah.
the subdivision. And
About subdivision rules themselves, if you haven't said that.
they do have a HOA sign off. Basically, as far as legal non-conforming goes, they're permitted to maintain the structure.
Yeah.
Form update life, things like that, as long as the non-conformity isn't increased. So if they would have extended that deck another 2 or 3 feet, it would have increased the non-conformity, which would have triggered our enforcement procedures. As far as I can tell, they did not extend that deck, redoing the rail and replacements of the deck was. Any encroachment agreement will include deck.
Well, they got 2 posts down through there we're putting up.
3, I believe.
Some beefy,
It's like they're expecting cars to back into them. They're definitely substantial, which is why it surprised me that that pipe wasn't damaged at all. I really expected that to just be rubble.
Yeah.
As you can see in the plan profile included, it's 2 feet underground.
Are they sitting on top of it? They
might
they thought
very well
they hit
be.
bedrock, it was actually a concrete thing.
It may very well be. It's a little bit offset from the pipe, it's like white on top, but it's right there.
Because the waiver basically has conditions, right, that cover liability.
Yeah, cover any liability, cover any maintenance we may need to do. Remove at their cost. And the advantage of having that recorded is it follows the deed.
Yeah.
References deed number. So that way next buyers down the road are aware of that encroachment, what's there. The alternative would be to go into some enforcement activities and have them take those stations out.
It's not impeding flow, doesn't sound like.
It doesn't look to me, obviously, where I was kind of standing in that photo is the low point.
Is there anything in the waiver that, I guess, puts liability on them to maintain, like if there's any erosion around those, or if they do end up impeding the flow, maybe we just didn't see it, at the time, but
I don't recall if that language is in there or not. That's certainly something we can add to.
yeah. I mean, even just from protecting them, starts eroding around those and,
Yeah,
there's a stability.
They're obviously not extremely deep.
Right. What do you think?
Roy, any issue? Roy, anything you can think of that might be an issue?
Jonathan had most of it. I didn't look at it very closely. It was the
The 25-foot easement.
is a 25-foot. And so
Yeah,
how much of the deck is actually on the easement?
I would say quite a bit.
Not that that's, I mean, like you said, if it's not impeding flow, that's really what this board is all about, that and maintaining its infrastructure, right? And that's there. I think last time you guys were considering that same thing, although it was a little bit lesser impact.
Yes.
Right? It's just a fence and some landscaping. This is unfortunate, if it's grandfather, you're gonna go and tell them, you gotta remove your deck out of the easement, you know, that, to what level is it harming us as the public? What you guys are trying to decide,
I think the light foundations are one thing, I think the deck is another conversation. The board has all rights to ask for things to be removed from the easement. Unintended consequences that would assume would happen with that course of action.
I think we want to find an agreeable solution. I mean,
I guess to me, as long as there wasn't heavy water flow down through that, we want to think this is a flowing. And they build the top of it, and that'd be one. I don't know about that.
Was there, Joe, any grading sheets that showed a swale at all? Do we know? Or-
I didn't see anything.
I know you showed the plant profile of the pipe.
I didn't see anything that really detailed it out.
Okay. I mean, like nowadays, we would have had
I'm sure there's some
graded
there.
swale that would have been defined in the plan.
I'm sure there's some there. You have to see with the tree line.
Yeah.
Well, there's contours on his map here. I don't see any swale. It all looks like it's sheet flowing. And then the only swale I see are kind of between the yards. Well,
I might ask you the question of whether or not you needed to have a language mentioned, if there was that. And if there isn't, the plan swale and altering somewhere else, then it starts really then that, what are you concerned about? Pipe, right?
Yeah.
Just a second, I'm sure.
is the town responsible for, I mean, I would assume maintenance would include erosion of, you know, drainage swales within the easements, correct?
Typically, those are relegated to HOAs at this point.
Is it?
In this case, I haven't read the plat language.
I would just think as long as we have some CYA in there to, you know, make sure they're maintaining those things. Because the last thing I would want is it to erode around those light bases and then the pole falls on somebody, you know, or somebody gets hurt.
And, you know, I think there's a certain amount of liability that lies with the property owner.
Yeah. So you're looking for approval, like a conditional approval tonight?
That's what staff was thinking. You know, it's certainly up to the board.
I'm good with there's the conditional approval and control. As long as the waiver, says of the CYA.
Yeah. To grant conditional approval based upon signing of a waiver.
Sure. Some of,
Whatever
you just said.
So I will move that we grant conditional approval for STRM -0004994-2022 5910 Shallow Water Lane. What is this? Just the conditional approval for encroachment agreement there based upon signing of our waiver by the homeowners.
Yeah, we'll still need, I would say, filing all requisite utility letters of no objection, site plan sufficient to identify the improvements located within the easement.
Okay, we'll tack that on, what Joe said there.
Second.
You second that motion? Don't expect me to repeat all that then.
It's in your staff report.
It's in my staff report. It's in my staff report, all right.
But it's not needed, I think, what you've done is sufficient.
Yeah, so, okay, I got a motion and a second there. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that motion passes 2-0.
Kevin, do you want to talk about the 2 road stuff?
Yeah,
You just
can
hang
you get a
out.
picture or,
I don't.
okay.
I don't know if you were just here for the entertainment value.
Yeah, that's actually why I'm here, that's it.
All right, it's all right. It's all right.
We'll anticipate that at your meeting next month, we'll have some suggested improvements down at 2-7 and for that, where Baldwin Street culvert outlets.
Comes in.
2-7.
Yeah.
We've been working with engineers and the homeowner, the property owner, to figure out what needs to be done there.
Okay.
Definitely some improvements that need to be done. I didn't want to bring you a blank project and say,
Here you go.
improve this.
Would agree. All right, any other new business? Just
No
all right.
more business.
Discussion items? Anything? Roy, anything? Maybe one thing for me, Phantom football field, anything happening? Bantam?
There's been a couple of emails going back and forth past few days between Bantam, the contractor, and Trent. I think we just need to kind of get on the same page and walk through what's going on out there. Feel free.
Joe had received, might describe what kind of initiated that part of it. That was beside the discussion we had this past month. Joe received an email from BAM asking whether Joe felt like he could release, was he holding percentage or a bond or something?
There's still an
Never
active
released the
regulation.
final money from them to Harding Group. And then Joe mentioned that we had had some discussion about whether it was functioning as he originally desired. And I just happened to have saw Trent at the council meeting and was chatting with him a little bit. So he's a little bit aware, but
He was on
that was
vacation
kind
for
of
a few weeks too.
gist of the emails.
Okay.
And so Trent had replied, and then I think really everyone was just kind of waiting for me to reply. So you guys weren't copied on that. I know that we had talked about meeting out there and taking a look at it. But that's certainly, whether you guys want to do that, Joe, or do we want to wait to see what kind of comes out of this follow-up. I was going to follow up with that email and just say, here's what I think is going on. And, maybe attach the pictures or something. So it's up to you guys whether or not you want to be, I'll kind of like come back to you eventually. Once we kind of hear what I think Crossroads needs to take a look at it and say, is this functioning as we had planned? And did Harding Group do what we had planned? Because I think it was their design, right? And that's where it kind of falls. So that's going to be kind of my reply. So, thank you.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything for a little while. I figured there's something had to be going on with it there, so. Yeah, just let us know if we need to get involved there. Like to keep moving. All right, administrative items.
All right, we're moving on our new MS4 general permit, which replaces Rule 13. Working with Wessler and Jacob over there. We're anticipating a end of June, early July NOI. There's a fee change right at the beginning of July. So we're going to submit that prior to the fee going up.
Yeah.
Should be seeing the public notice go up on the website next week. The code did allow us to public notice on our website for 30 days or place a legal ad in the paper. We don't get charged extra for public notice on our website.
That's right.
And I think it's a little more accessible. I still know a few people who read the legal ads, but not many.
No.
I've never been one to read the legal ads. Let's see. Along those lines, the new construction stormwater general permit, the deadline for all the prior Rule 5s to transfer over has passed. All the town projects are successfully transferred to the new CSGP. Those that haven't transferred, I think they got a reminder that they still need to do that. That's all through IDEM. Some new provisions that contractors are getting used to, but they're getting used to it.
Yeah.
So, if we don't have any questions on that one, I can move on to master plan. Kind of hit a speed up table on this after our last meeting. I did get some communication back from Wessler last week. Looks like I included that email in your packet there. Looks like they're updating the model with a lot of the items we saw at our last meeting. And we are going to see what kind of documents we might have from the interceptor project. There's a checkbox on my list to do this week is to dig into that and see what we can't find.
I mean, I would have any issue with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we found the plans.
Okay.
John's asked, or Bill's asking for as-bills. I don't know. I haven't seen them. I haven't really dug into them yet.
Yeah. I think the hard copy set that I have might be a copy of the as-bills.
Yeah, and
But I thought those were on in the system.
yeah, I had to look at that. Like I said, I haven't really dug into it yet.
That sounds good.
So, next item is the Old Plank Road easement.
Yeah.
I'll turn it over to Roy there. He's going to be working on getting
Patty
that.
probably needs me to stand up there and say that, no.
Just an update. I know you guys saw what we had last week, and
I do have the exhibits basically complete, and I'm planning to get with Bob and go over those, and then he'll write the actual legal. And so I talked to him, I think we'll probably be doing that yet this week, and we should be seeing these complete, and I'll have some discussion with Joe about the process and meeting with the property owners and how we are actually going to go about resolving the problem that they have, but hopefully they'll be willing donors to those. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it solves the problem on their property. In my opinion, I don't know if we're willing to pay for these and solve the problem on their property.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have any updates on the South Baldwin Street rear yard other than it's a mess.
Still a mess.
On that note, I do have a 2-hour block with Brian scheduled out for tomorrow morning. Discuss that and a few other small items through the town. Hopefully we can go take a look at that stuff, bring some recommendations to you at your June meeting, and get some of the small things taken care of.
I was gonna say, speaking of drainage projects, our Easy Street there where we had the tree removed, did we get that?
Last I talked to Brian, he was gonna start working on that.
Okay, all right.
That's one of the items. There's that. South Baldwin, there's a ditch over by Parkview Estates that just isn't functioning.
Mhm. Yeah. Sounds good.
Except a handful of kind of nuisance things for folks, not affecting a great number of people, but more than one.
Well, hopefully it's drying up a little bit now so we can get some of the stuff done.
Yeah. The only additional update we had was Tim and I were able to attend the MS4 annual conference up in Indianapolis, which was informative. Good information on the new permitting system was basically the entire conference was this new permit that's we're going to be implementing. But IDEM did give us plenty of time to adopt the updated ordinances. So once we get the draft of that, we'll work through the enforcement procedure with legal. Past ordinances, better put that into the violations bureau. We're able to write a citation for that, which is helpful.
No kidding, huh?
I wrote more than a few this spring.
Yeah. Any other projects coming? What's coming?
And we really don't have any
Coming?
large projects that are becoming for approval right now. We kind of ran through a few sets. As you know, we're working on our development code update. Just we're hoping to have that effective August 1st. And work through our construction standards. I have those adopted shortly thereafter. There's a little bit of delay in that. We had a little miscommunication on the extent of the construction standard we were looking at, but I think we got it ironed out. Yeah, go right ahead.
So a project that's in the works right now is utilities are working on rebuilding the water and sewer behind commercial businesses here on Baldwin Street. So we may have a small portion of storm work on the north end of that. Should have design finished on that here real soon. So maybe at the next meeting, we'll be able to bring that and the 2 Cent Road repair project that we're looking at.
Sounds good. Yep. Just keep us informed. Know we can help out.
Yeah, we're, with Kevin and Julie, we're really trying to take a holistic approach to these projects. If we're gonna have an alley or a street dug up, we want to get a strong infrastructure in there while it's dug up.
Would agree. Always hate to see the new roads go back in and cut the storm drains back underneath them there, they got the new pavement now. We've got.
And I'm really glad to hear you mention that,
I always like to see that there.
because Roy and I are working through road project priorities.
Yeah.
And so once we finalize that list of council, we'll be happy to share that with you and see what opportunities there are, so we don't cut any
That's right.
roads
That's
for
right.
that purpose.
Yeah.
We can just get the other companies to follow that model.
You know, we issue the right way permits, so we'll keep working together on that.
Oh, that sounds good, Julie, yeah.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Like I said, take advantage of it there. If we're gonna be tearing something up, let's just take a look at all the utilities underneath it there. See what we need to do. Except that's all, I always hate to see that there. You get this new road and all of a sudden it's all cut. We've got to put this drain across.
It never functions
Yeah, right.
the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, it's never quite right then.
Yeah.
So, we got the stubbles. All right, what we got left? Treasurer report.
Treasurer's report, invoices.
I see any big ticket items from Brian there. Let's see. Hardware purchases.
We'll probably see another one from Brian at our next meeting. The improvements we did up on Whitewood Road at Windcrest worked really well. Unfortunately, it went through irrigation line. When they turned that irrigation line on for the spring,
Yeah.
they found that. Brian was able to go up there and get that repaired pretty quickly. But there'll be some extra material, material costs with that.
I move to approve the monthly claims as presented.
All right, I'll second that. So I got a motion and a second to approve the monthly claims as presented. Any further discussion?
No.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 2-0. All righty, anything else? Our next meeting is June 27th. Is that okay for everybody on the schedule? Make sure. Should be here. It's good for me.
I'm here anyway, so.
You're there anyway?
So far, so good.
So far, so good? All right. Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.